When I talk about pricing, one of the questions that crops up a lot is, well, why are people so bad at it then? Because presumably pricing has been an issue for, I guess, millennia. So why are people so bad at it? And I guess the problem we find is it's a blunt approach to pricing. When I talk to businesses about how they currently set their prices, it will be one of these options that we find. Certainly last year's plus a bit is very common. That has been in the past when we've had higher levels of inflation. What did we charge last year? Inflation's running at 4%. Let's make it 4% higher this year, so we're making the same money. Inevitably, when that happens, it's inflation's running at 4%. We can't go that high. Let's put it up by 3%. So there's always a slippage. But that principle of previous years adjusted for an inflationary increase is very, very common. Not so relevant now. The inflation is very, very low, but certainly has been a technique used over many years. The other one we find quite a lot is, what do we pay for it? Let's add on a fixed percentage. So we pay £100 or something, let's add on 25%. So a fixed markup where we're taking whatever the cost of products or services we do and adding a fixed percentage on top. A variation of that, but just doing the maths in a different way, is to set a target gross profit margin. So we want to make 40% and setting the pricing to achieve that fixed margin option. So same thing, just a different target number. And then again, probably one of the most common is, well, what's everybody else charging? Let's be a little bit cheaper and we'll win some customers. So what we call competitive-led pricing. And I would say probably if I spoke to 1,000 businesses, 999 would have picked one of those four options for the way they set their pricing. So what's the problem with that? Well, the problem is none of those options reflect in any way the perception that the customer has of the value of the product or service that you're delivering to them. And that's the only thing that really matters, is what does the customer think your product or service is worth? They don't care what you paid to build it or make it or buy it. They have an issue of, for me, I'm happy to pay that price. And that's the real challenge we've got in most businesses, is how do we find out the customer's perception of value and avoid being drawn into these mathematical methodologies that really don't give us any idea of what we might be able to charge if we talked more closely to our customers. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you've taken time out of your day to listen today. I hope you found it useful. There are my contact details on screen. If you buy my book, pick up the phone. I always have time to talk to people about pricing. So thank you for your time today.